That isn't just the sound of the 2015 Mercedes-Benz C-Class high-strength steel and aluminum frame being formed. It's the sound of conviction. Conviction that created a lighter, quicker, more efficient C-Class, whose beautiful form and even more attractive price earned Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Luxury Best Buy Award. This is what conviction sounds like. Now, discover what it feels like in a 2015 Mercedes-Benz C-Class.
For more information, visit Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Kelley Blue Book is a registered trademark of Kelley Blue Book Co. Inc.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 90 Degree Show, hosted by the Marching Podcast and Blog Talk Radio. Advice may be misleading, but examples are always clear. And here's your host, the Phantom Podcaster himself, Joe Beard.
Good evening and welcome to the 90 Degree Show. I'm your host, Joe Beard, and happy to be of service for you tonight. Today is, look at that, December 20th, 2015, 5 o'clock on the West Coast and 8 o'clock on the East Coast. We appreciate all those listening live and in podcast form, whether through iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, our website, Twitter, Facebook, or wherever you are on the interwebs this evening. If you decide you like the show, then we appreciate a donation to the network if you feel so in your heart, of course. Just simply go to themarchingpodcast.com and click on the donate button to help improve the show and help build our scholarship fund. All right. Thanks for listening tonight. Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad. I want to send a special shout out to someone special. Feliz cumpleaños para mi novia, Adriana Briseño. That's my wife. Happy birthday to her. Love you. Te amo. You know, yada, yada, yada. Que voy a hacer contigo. You know, all of that stuff. So thank you very much. Shout out to you. You definitely are one strong one to be with me and to always be looking after our kids during these times when I'm in the room doing these broadcasts. So I appreciate you. Thanks again. Have a good day. All right. Moving right along tonight. It is the Celebration Bowl, y'all. Merry Christmas, by the way. Christmas is right around the corner. I'm looking into our queue here. Bring one of our expert panelists on. Is this Christy Walker?
Yes, it's me.
Hello, Miss Walker. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm doing good. Saw the new Star Wars. I'm straight.
Well, you know what? I was going to ask you about that. I myself am a little green to the whole Star Wars thing. It was young when I was young when it came out, but I just never picked it up. I just never picked it up. Then it confused me when I think maybe I guess in the 2000s they came out with some new ones and they said that the ones back in the day was not. They were the ones came out now are prequels are the ones that came out. It's confusing. You know what I'm saying? I lost it. You know what I'm saying? But I did see a couple of pictures of you on the net, and I was like, Christy, she about to go. So you checked it out. Was it all that it was cracked up to be?
Yes, it was all that it was cracked up to be. I would put it up there with the old school movies. Yeah, definitely was great.
So I have to ask. I'm sorry. What did you say?
No. You go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, were the old school movies were good? Because I mean, I'm kind of lost about it. So all of them are good. Are any of them stronger than the other ones? Or is just each one of them?
There are some that are stronger than other ones. A lot of people didn't like the prequels, which is 1, 2, and 3 in the series. But I mean, I liked them, but they weren't as good as 4, 5, and 6, which is the original trilogy. So,
okay.
And then what came out this past weekend was 7. So
they're gonna have a 7, 8, 9, I guess, too.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Well, we don't want to tell anybody what happened. You know what I'm saying?
No spoilers.
No spoilers. Let me bring in the great. I made sure we had the great owner and founder of Block Band Music and Publishing,
Lord have
Rashad Watters. What's going on tonight, man?
Well, what in the world is going on over here, man? Normally, you're still introducing the show and all of these things. I'm calling in within the first minute, and y'all are already in the Star Wars. What in the world?
No, hello, we are 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So
now we're in 5 minutes. At this exact moment, we're in the 5 minutes. I called in at 8:01.
I did. You know, I did have to say, I did have to ask because, like, so many people are so excited. I mean, everybody everywhere is talking about it, changing, you know, the Facebook. I mean, everything. I just always like to catch up. And I think I was going to watch the original, or not the original ones, but the ones that came out in 2000, but the confusion about which one it was, it just threw me off. And then, like, Samuel Jackson was in it, I think one of them, and Billy D. Williams was in it. Who is that? That's what I want to know. I'm kind of intrigued about
that. Could take the whole hour to explain, or, you know, the whole podcast. Right. I know we on here for bands, but basically you can get away with just seeing the first not the prequels, but the first trilogy. So episode 4, which came out in 1977, episode 5, and episode 6. You can be good there, and then watch 7 in the movies, and you'll be good. You'll be straight.
Okay. I can dig it. I understand. Well, thank you so much for both of you being on. I know I was taking a little extra time, a little slower starting the show tonight, but I thought about the two of you last week. Yes, indeed. I was going to bring it up on the show last week, but I was like, you know what? We didn't have a show. Hope you guys, you know, enjoyed our little break we had. Got another break after the night. We'll be back on for the Honda. I still am trying to make that trip to Atlanta and how that's going to work out, but we are going to do some broadcast, even if it's like that night from like a bar or something. I don't know. I just got to figure something out. But I thought about the two of y'all, and I laughed, and it actually helped me because y'all probably going to laugh at me. I actually got two things to tell you, okay? So, you know, I don't like showing emotion. Do not come on the field and, you know, make me think about Jesus or something like that. Just don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My kids' Christmas program was last week.
Oh, Lord.
And I was all hard because, you know, I had a suit on. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to come correct us at a certain place, you know. So me and my wife, we were all ready. We were all done up and everything. We were all excited. And I really wasn't really tripping about the show. And so they had like this extravagant, it was in the chapel at a university right here. They had all this stuff going on, all these lights. And it's like, oh, man, this is like really, really exciting. So then they showed the slideshow of the kids for that year. And everybody's laughing. Oh, it's great. You know, everybody, you know, it's great. And then all of a sudden, Rashad and Christy, I started feeling it, and these chords of Silent Night came on, and then one door opened, and it was like one of the teachers, and then all the students came out in candles. Let me just say, long story short, because I know we can't broadcast all night. I thought my wife was gonna have to take me up out of there. I was like, oh my God, like. I was like, I can't believe this happened to me right now. And then I was trying to, like, keep the tears off my face. Like, it was just like, man, this is just, like, getting bad. And then, like, when one died down, the other kid came on stage. It was just something. So it was just like, you know what? I thought about Rashad and Christian. I was like, this is why I don't like seeing this type of thing on the marching band field. I couldn't handle it, man.
Are you seriously comparing your kids' Christmas program to a marching band show? I mean, like, seriously.
it's the emotion, Chris. You know what I'm saying? It's like you come in the battle and then you gonna do that. You gonna throw your kids
out
there.
But you don't go into battle in a Christmas program.
No, but I'm saying
as long as another elementary school didn't show up. If another elementary school had shown up, then what you think is the kids would have called it?
Well, yeah, in a sense. But I was just telling you, man, like that's just something that was just like a connection for entertainment. I don't want to be like that at a battle of the bands. It's supposed to be like rage and talking trash. I was just bringing it up to say, man, you can't be pulling at people's emotions at a halftime show. That's all I was saying.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of that either. But you know,
I thought about y'all. I really did. I thought about Christy and Rashad.
During your kids' Christmas presentation, Christmas play. Come on now, that's not a good comparison. But I hear you.
Okay, I was just letting y'all know, you know, just how it is. Some people just. They just don't want to see emotions at halftime. I was just bringing it up as a light note about, you know, I was like, damn, I know Christy Rashad probably be laughing at me, man. A brother was crying that straight out of Confernce. I ain't even going to lie. I mean, it just the emotions, man. Like, Easy didn't have to knock all of them down like that. You know what I'm saying? It just got to me at the end. Because,
you know, you had no idea what was going to happen in Straight Out Compton, I'm sure.
I mean, I didn't know it was going to be like that. I didn't know MC Ren was like there in the room and he just walked out like that. Like, that tore me up. You know what I'm saying? But regardless.
You're just a big softie. Just admit it. It's okay.
I'm just saying. I was just letting y'all know because, you know, I know y'all would appreciate that. But moving on, tonight is our Celebration Bowl. I want to give a nice applause for the Celebration Bowl. I think it went really well. We have was starting this year. We have a HBCU Black National Champion. I don't know like the full phrase. That would be North Carolina A&T State University. So shout out to all the
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Hashtag Aggie Pride.
Yeah.
My grandfather went to A&T, graduated in 1936. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I have his degree, have his little diploma and everything at the crib. He was the bros too, so shout out to the Qs.
Here we go.
I just want to put that out there. But yes, so really excited to see that. I thought it was a really, really exciting. I want to get what you guys thought about the coup de grace, the presentation on TV, all of that stuff in our next break. But yeah, just kind of started out the show kind of slow tonight. Tonight's show is brought to you by Showtime Web and Mr. JT85 on YouTube. And Pranks Tao was the only person I got to see on Periscope. I saw Periscope was going crazy Saturday. And I just didn't get a chance to see everybody. We were busy here at home. But, yes, shout out to all the folks that are actually doing this. At first, I took Periscope for kind of granted. I was like, oh, this is just a great thing. But now it's turning out to be a semi-job for these people. Like, I can just kind of tell they're holding up their phone. And it's just like, I kind of didn't come here for this. Like, so shout out to you for keeping it moving and not stopping anything. I must definitely, y'all make sure you say thank you at the end. Just at least say thank you.
I definitely say thank you to most of the Periscope people, but some of the people just need to, if you're going to go to the game and talk all the way through the whole thing and N-word that and N-word this, constantly all through the whole thing, how about you just cut your Periscope off?
Right, exactly.
You're trying to watch the show and this N-word going to do this, N-word going to do that. Oh, look at them, man. N-word that. I mean, it's like, come on, dog. Seriously. You went to college for that? You're embarrassing all of us right now. I just want to hear the bands, okay? Be quiet. So for all those people who want to be Periscope celebrities, remember that you are broadcasting live to people who want to watch whatever it is that you're showing. So be quiet and let it see it.
Yeah, that is video etiquette. You know, that is one thing. And maybe a lot of folks would not know that. because they just happen to be on Periscope. They're like, oh, that girl, everybody watching me, girl, like, whatever. But definitely silence is divine, or golden, or whatever is the phrase that come on before the movie.
Golden.
There you go. It's the bomb. The best parts are the comments anyway. So y'all check out the comments, and that's not for you. It's for people you check out later, Also, shout out to Periscope for the updates. You can fast forward now, or maybe I'm late with that.
No, you're not that late, but it be saving folks.
Good. So yeah, I was like, oh, okay, I got to check out, with a little bit more what happened. So that's really exciting. They probably know that, all these young African American students are using their products and they're upgrading it, so we know students all over the world of any color. Yes, that's right. So let's go ahead and
I got something funny to say about Periscope, though.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I actually taught my colleagues at work how to use Periscope, and we're going to be using it for some things in the office as well. So they needed somebody to train. They were like, who knows Periscope? I was like, I do. And so last Wednesday, I basically trained them how to do some broadcasting. We have, like, our official Periscope channel and everything. And, yeah, so you know how band bleeds over into your regular life,
I want to definitely give you a shout. That's what I was just about to say. Band bleed over your regular life. Now Christy is educating those around her. And they'll be like, Christy, how do you know? Because I'm a band head. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. And I use those examples, too. I was like, when I first went to the Charlotte, the Queen City Battle of the Bands, and I, Periscoped the Battle of the Bands, and people were talking, and yeah. So I definitely use, like, real band examples.
See, there you go. See, without band, y'all, this is what I'm trying to tell the world, man. We be backwards. That's just how it is. Mm-hmm. All right. So let's go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsors. I'm gonna mute the microphones here. Again, a little slow moving along, but it's the celebration. A celebration. I've always wanted to do that in front of my celebration. I always wanted to do that. Yes. All right. So it's really exciting. And we'll get all of our takes when we come back from the break. You can email the show at marchingpodcast@gmail.com, tweet us at marchingpodcast, and follow our blog 4.themarchingpodcast.com. If you are listening live and have a Blog Talk Radio account, you can log into the chat room. I think I opened the chat room. Yes, a couple of people in there. Shout out to you. You can log into the chat room and leave your comments there. Last and definitely not least, check out themarchingpodcast.com. Let's take the time to hear from our sponsors. Tonight's show is brought to you by Liquid Effects Photography, The Edge One Productions, Block Band Music and Publishing, Bandhead.org, and HBCUbands.com, and Double Time Entertainment. Let's take the time to hear from them now.
Hey, this is Tiffany, and you're listening to the Marching Podcast. Hi, this is Nessa. You're listening to the Marching Podcast.
Need to write music and drill? Get it on the field. Outfit your band. Keep your administrator happy and still have a life. Encountering drama in the process, ain't nobody got time for that. Let Block Band Music assist you with musical arrangements and drills to fit your band, and also the equipment, gear, and accessories to keep the visuals, music, and marching on point. Contact blockbandmusic@gmail.com and see how this worldwide minority-owned business can uplift your band.
What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to bandhead.org. Bandhead.org, a social network for bands.
From photo shoots to graduation pictures, from probates to band footage, from pageants to yard shows, there's only one team you can count on, the Edge One Productions. Visit theedge1.com and trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Double Time Entertainment. Our passion is music and promoting HBCU marching bands as well as high school marching bands through high-quality movie videos and photos. We have worked with BET, Yamaha, Ludwig, Honda Motor Company, and been featured on CNN and Lifetime Network's series Bama State Style. We also help and orchestrate Battle of the Bands with marketing and promotions, and also became the official media team for the Queen City Battle of the Bands in Charlotte, North Carolina. Join Double Time Entertainment on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and now new on Periscope. Music lovers are noteworthy.
Hey, this your girl, Casey Nesbitt, 2000 graduate of Jackson State University, Crab of 1996 of the Sonic Boom of the South, 2002 graduate of North Carolina Agriculture and Technical State University, Aggie Pride, also a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Fall 1997 Delta Pi Chapter, and you're listening to the 90 Degree Show here on the Marching Podcast Network.
That. Back 718-664-6025. You're listening to the Sounds of Dynamite. Just got paid on Friday, and they bringing us back from the break. 718-664-6025. Please let us know what you thought about Celebration Bowl. If you attended the bowl, if you saw it on TV, if you heard about it, if your cousin told you about it. Go ahead and call in. Let us know what you thought. We will definitely be breaking down the band info and some other things around the show. I do want to press I'm sorry. I unmuted your microphones, guys. I want to let you know I bring our experts back on. I wanted to give a shout-out to ABC and ESPN. I myself, I'm an ESPN fan, but I go up and down because, you know, ain't nobody perfect. So, you know, I get mad about stuff that they do. But I thought for the most part, I wanted to ask you guys, if you saw the television broadcast, I thought they did a good job of showing love to both schools. And I thought they did a good job of, you know, educating a little bit what they could about the schools, showing the band the little, you know, 90 seconds for the two drum sections, cold steel and I guess TOP. I never really knew Alcorn's drum section. but I always knew about Cold Steel, and they're a good representation to have on a national stage. But I wanted to ask Christy, I guess you didn't get to go down to Atlanta, but if you saw it on TV, what did you think about the whole broadcast in general?
Well, I thought overall it was good. I mean, they didn't show halftime, which was a bummer. So I watched the ABC coverage. I didn't know it was on ESPN. I just thought it was ABC, and maybe the fact that I live in the state of North Carolina might have dictated that, because it may have been seen as a local game or whatever. But and I may be totally mistaken on that. But I thought that I really I got to see the clips of that were on ESPN. So I didn't see the actual broadcast, but I saw the clips. And I really like that drumline feature. I think they tried to do right by bands and by us. I mean, now of course, my preference would have been to show the whole halftime show, but I mean, just being real, that they don't do that. So I'm hoping that this event, with it being the start of being counted as start of the bowl season, and now you have like the national championship going on, and I mean like the BCS national championship. I hope that this game gets the publicity that I think it deserves, and the marketing that I think they could really do a good job with this. So, overall, I don't really have I don't have too many complaints, to be honest.
Rashad, what did you think, man? Did you get to see it on TV, or did you get a chance to check out? Well, because I know they had some stuff on ESPN. They were, telling people about the bowl game, like the bowl special, and then the actual game was then on ABC. So what did you think?
Yeah, and see, Rashad and I live in the same city, so I don't. I'm interested to know what he saw.
And ESPN is I don't know if subsidiary is the best word to use, but they're a flavor of ABC, if you will, like Mr. Pibb and Coke, and they're all owned by Disney. So
right,
that Disney money
just had a heck of a weekend.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So, Rashad, what do you think, man?
It's been good to be Mickey Mouse right now, I tell you. So, yeah, Rashad does not have cable. So 100% of my coverage for games comes from behind-the-scenes things such as YouTube and Periscope. So I did not know. I didn't see any of that.
Okay. Well, yeah, they got to show... I posted the little clip of the two drum lines there in Atlanta doing their thing, and I did hear. I guess there wasn't specifically a battle of the bands like what we know, where the two bands would be next to each other. The stuff we've talked about this year. But I think they talked about the halftime show. Then there was a zero quarter, which was good to see. And then A&T, being A&T, did actually a post-game performance. And,
both bands did.
Both bands did that, yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, I didn't find the Alcorn post joint. So I definitely want you guys to let me know how that goes. So we will definitely get into that. So I'm glad to know. I thought it was good. I thought it was just the exposure, and it's a little bit of, I didn't say it right. The Grambling folks got on me, but it was, partly what I was upset about with the Bayou Classic and how, that's a national game, that's a national stage, and that prestige or that moment there where at least some kids was like, oh, I'm going to, grow up to play in the Bayou Classic. You now have, on that national stage here to be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go play for the HBCU national championship. I'm gonna play for the Black national championship, whatever it is. You got to say careful about Black national championship because a whole bunch of black players are playing Alabama and all the other schools too. But I don't want to go there. So again, I thought it was cool just to get the notoriety. They had one graphic one time where they showed the famous alums from each school and show, the birthday to each school. Again, just the exposure. And Christy brought this up a couple weeks ago. It's just that exposure. That's all we're trying to do, even on this network. Just expose people to Fort Valley State or expose people to Bethune-Cookman and, what they do, and Cold Steel. I was really happy to see that as well. Was kind of disappointed in Alcorn's part. And they look small, too, with only those 4 snares up there on the video. I actually posted that video on my Facebook page, but you could do ESPN or go ESPN, and they have those 2 90-minute little clips of the 2 bands. They had to stop Cold Steel. Cold Steel just kept going. Cold Steel wasn't tripping about no 90 seconds. They just kept going. Jay Harris was like, calm down, brothers. Slow it down, brothers. That's what he said. But, yes, again, the exposure was a wonderful thing to see. So I won't go ahead and get into then the halftime shows, I guess, then. Christy, what you think about the halftime shows?
Okay, you know what? I am biased to my own school. I'm going to defer to Rashad.
Oh, no, but we want to hear what you say, though. This is for the people. So we ain't trying to be Don Lemon or nobody. You know what I'm saying?
See.
I want to hear what you thought. Even if it was something you didn't like and you wanted to get on them about, I want to hear it all.
Well, I thought personally that both bands were kind of saving what they did for the post, because they knew there was going to be a post-game battle of the bands. So I wasn't really impressed with either show, to be honest with you. I thought, that's just what I thought there.
Rashad, what did you think, man? What did you think about halftime?
I would have to agree there. To use Christy's phrase, I was very much underwhelmed by both shows. I will say I believe that I will give A&T the victory there. I think Alcorn has some things they need to work out. Even though we all know they're on the come up and they're doing really well and they're a lot more powerful than they used to be, that's great. But still, you have to compare Alcorn to the SWAC bands who have been great for years and years and years, like Southern and Jackson State. And when Alcorn is out there being loud and doing step twos, and the step twos don't look good, they really fall short of the greatness of the SWAC, and that's their problem right now. They in both shows I saw, Alcorn does things that really highlight their weaknesses. And I'll talk about the post-game show later. But particularly during the halftime show, those step twos were pretty bad at times. And it's like, again, you've heard me say this time and time again, with Grambling in particular, if you're going to do them, then do them right, or don't do them. I mean, there's no law that says that a band has to do step twos, although it seems to be more bands than not follow that rule. But if you're going to do them, you need to spend time making them look good, or just don't do them. And that was a problem. That was a failing for Alcorn. With A&T, you don't notice that as much because of the different type of formations and things that they do. Sometimes the drilling is not perfect, but it's really hidden within the type of things that they do. So I definitely would give A&T the victory in the halftime show.
I definitely agree with you, man. I love when you say step twos and then I say the kaleidoscope stuff. Because that's the huge in the SWAC, and that's huge with Jackson State and Southern too. That's that old school, and that's we really get it from a lot of those years when Pop was there. Mr. Duplessis, shout out to you, R.I.P. when he was there, instilling a lot of those hardcore spacing. It's really about spacing. It's a cliche type of thing, but it really is. When you're doing those step twos, it really, really is about spacing and maintaining your space in your squad throughout pinwheels and throughout step twos, whatever you want to call them. It is really all about that spacing. And if you can't maintain that spacing, it's just kind of my thing with Alcorn. It's either they almost right there and then Alcorn show up, or I thought the same thing. like I thought the same thing. Like, you know, like we've said it, we gave him props a couple of weeks ago. Alcorn is on the come up. Alcorn's good. They sound good. They look good. But it's the little things, either like whole phrases being slurred or just like a whole bunch of mesh for a little while. And then like the drill, you know, it started out good and it started out, you know, representing the SWAC, if you will, but then just the execution in some parts, like Rashad said, it just wasn't there. If you just had just the eye looking at what they did, just certain parts. And then, of course, they had a couple spots where people, like, messed up on the field. I think Showtime Webb got guys on the left side, so, like, 3 or 4 people jumped up too early when he was zooming in. I was like, dang, that was huge. And, yeah, I ain't lying. Y'all can look at the tape. I'm not hating, you know. But yeah, I gave it to A&T just because it looked like, of course, for the broadcast, they were just trying to get on the field and get off. But A&T still does something different every time. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like Alcorn is like the Browns. They'll be good for a little while, and then the Browns will show up, and then they just like, oh, or like Joe Flacco. It's like he'd be good for 11 games, and then you're like, what happened? And then, but you have A&T, they had that performance that's somewhat like the Patriots, and not knowing that they cheating or anything, but they just seem to always do something different. Like, how did they exactly know to do that? Like, I mean, damn, like how? So it's little things in the drill that I thought that A&T gave them the difference. You know, they did marching, they marched forwards and back. They have little stints where they like turn into a little drum and bugle corps for a little second, and they go back to marching, you know, high step. So it's those little intricacies that I gave it to North Carolina A&T for on the halftime show.
I'm going to actually have to disagree with that last statement there concerning A&T, and I can talk a little more about this during the postgame show because I got more notes on that. I would disagree to say that A&T always does something different. Not this year, not in 2015. That was definitely the case in 2014, but this year we're starting to see a lot of duplicates, and we'll definitely talk about that when we hit that post-game show.
Yeah, well, and I agree. I agree with that too. That post-game show was a complete. I mean, I've seen that whole show before.
You saw that whole show at the Charlotte Battle of the Bands.
Mhm.
That was the show they did there.
Oh wow! But I guess something different to Alcorn show. Alcorn had like a standard show, like they had, you know, their drill, you know, their dances, and then, you know, they did their dance routine. A&T had, you know, their drill, but their drill was different, and meaning like, you know, the difference in the way they marched between transitions and stuff like that. Maybe you guys are getting. Maybe that's getting a little bit played to y'all, but I guess in the competition, it was just something different to the eye. Because when I first saw the video, I saw 6 minutes from one band and the other band was 7 minutes. I was like, oh, they were trying to run on and run on. I do want to ask Christy, what was the dudes? Were those camera people? What were those? What was that? What was that?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. And I heard people talking about the guys, and I don't know what that was about, honestly.
Yeah, whatever it wasn't tight. I mean, if they were, like, if some people really got out like that, and they got like, I mean, that was crazy. Or I don't think that came from the directors, because that's whack.
What happened?
There was on the halftime show when the dancers came. What are the dancers' names? Christy?
Golden Delight.
Golden Delight. When they came out for their routine, it was like 4 dudes came out, and they looked like they had cameras, but one dude, I think, did like a somersault or something. And
yeah, I didn't know what that was about.
Yeah, like, and then they had their phones, Rashad, so it looked like they were like periscoping or something. So for a split second, I was like, oh, that's the periscope. Whoa. Like, wait, hold on, what are they doing? And then it was like, they were like looking at the girls like, oh, damn, she fine. Like, they were like gawking over the girls like for a second. And then I thought they were about to jump in and start like dancing with them, like ballroom dancing or something. But then they just like walked off. So yeah, I didn't know what that was. I was going to ask.
I guess it would probably have to do with the title of the song. I'm sure that as you're describing it to me, it just sounds like something that A&T was trying to put in order to make it interesting. And that is one criticism I will have with A&T in general, is that we kind of find out after the fact, oh, this is the Battle of the Sexes show. But we really don't know that during the show, and they're playing a lot of songs that fit the theme, but we never really know what the song is. Like to this day, that show, the one they played during the post game, I still don't know what that song is. You know what it is? It would be nice if somebody said that during the show. But, during that particular thing, it may have been cleared up if somebody had said, hey, this is this song. And say, oh, that makes sense why they got the camera people out there,
Yeah, well, the whole theme of the show, was the men and women or whatever, so.
So,
Hello?
definitely. So, that's the purpose of the show. Hey, you guys know, definitely let us know. 718-664-6025. I was just looking at the thing. Miss Bree, Janelle Bree, is in the chat room. She was just saying hello to y'all. She was signed in and listening.
Bridget.
So shout out to you, Bridget. Shout out to the Reds. Just moving on.
Here we go.
We got a little time. Well, no, we actually got the next minutes before. Well, you know what? Yeah, we got some minutes. I guess we can start the commercial break and we'll do this, and we can come back and talk about the rest of the show that we saw this weekend here on the 90 Degree Show. Thanks again for listening. But it was really, again, just exciting to see what was going on. So shout out to ESPN again. Shout out to ABC for the broadcast. And the little dude from A&T, he was the tailback. Dude was kind of raw.
Tariq Cohen.
Yeah, man, he was fast, man. Speed kills. And shout out to Ollie Liddell. We actually just chopped it up with him not too long ago. I actually saw a comment. He said SWAC defense is kind of old, like the Big Ten, and we don't have that speed. And then I think a couple guys were saying that a lot of people on the track team were out there for A&T. But speed kill.
Can I give a shout out? I gotta give a shout out to the MEAC. Hello, the MEAC. Because there are haters out there. That says the SWAC and the SWAC this and the SWAC that. I gotta give it up to the MEAC. Holla.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I know. I know.
What'd you say?
I think I'll have to co-sign on that.
Yes.
But you know what? I will just say the coach, before we go to the break, the coach there at A&T used to be the coach at Grambling. So the brother, he put in his work. But he also
used to be the coach at Central.
Well, I don't know, but he was but you adding old stuff. Why you bringing in a conference that didn't have nothing to do with what I was trying to say? But that's all right.
MEAC. Since
really
y'all do these conference surf wars, band heads, they'll be quick to tell you, that's how we do in the SWAC. That's how we do in the SWAC. Anyway, cut the commercial, Joe.
That's all right. I'm going to commercial. Hey, like my man Terry Bradshaw said in that commercial, I wish I had something to say. If I had something to say right now, I'd say it. But that's all right.
Okay, cut the commercial.
This is your idea to bring on the show, Joe.
I know. That's all right. All right, I'm going to mute the microphones and we'll be back. Thanks for listening. The Celebration Bowl 90 Degree Show will be back.
This is Natalie Kennedy Beard, Spelman College alumni, class of 1971. You're listening to the 90 Degree Show on the Marching Podcast Network.
What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on Bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out Bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org, a social network for bands.
Band directors, have you ever found yourselves in this situation? Showtime is quickly approaching. Your budget is quickly disappearing. Your music choices are narrowing. The equipment condition is wearing and your stress level is mounting. Stop what you're doing and contact Block Band Music and find out how we've got you. Check www.blockbandmusic.com, providing music, equipment, gear, and accessories to show style, core style, and traditional bands worldwide.
From photo shoots to graduation pictures, from pro bass to band footage, from pageants to yard shows, there's only one team you can count on, the Edge One Productions. Visit theedge1.com and trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Double Time Entertainment. Our passion is music and promoting HBCU marching bands as well as high school marching bands through high-quality movie videos and photos. We have worked with BET, Yamaha, Ludwig, Honda Motor Company, and been featured on CNN and Lifetime Network's series Bama State Style. We also help and orchestrate Battle of the Bands with marketing and promotions, and also became the official media team for the Queen City Battle of the Bands in Charlotte, North Carolina. Join Double Time Entertainment on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and now new on Periscope. Music lovers are noteworthy.
This is David Thompson, owner and founder of Liquid Effects Photography, and you're listening to the 90 Degree Show here on the Marching Podcast Network.
We're back, 718-664-6025. You're listening to the 9 Degree Show. We're here with the Celebration Bowl all over your body. Bringing back in Christy Walker and the great Rashad Watters, Blue and Gold Marching Machine. No, that is right. Y'all are the Blue and Gold Marching Machine. Ain't that right, Christy?
Yep, that's right.
That's who's bringing us back from the break. Sometimes I get y'all threw that extra little Outcast joint up in there. You know, just creativity, just always A&T coming, doing something different. So they put the Outcast up in the Ray Sherman and the old school Crucial Conflict. You know, just throwing it up in there. It kind of reminds me, I think, Livingstone had a really, really cool neck where they put Dre Day up in there. I like those, but they got to work. I mean, everybody can't do that. So, I mean,
Hampton
shout out
University,
to the arrangers.
they the king of that.
The mixing. So shout out to all the arrangers.
Neck, the Talking Out the Side of Your Neck remix with Sardines and all these other songs, and yeah.
That's right.
That's tight.
That's how we do.
That's tight. So we're back here to talk about the Good Celebration Bowl. You're free to call in and let us know what you saw. You leave a comment in the chat room. Definitely let us know what you thought. I want to now shift to the zero quarter because I want to see what you guys thought about the play calling, the selections and stuff. What you thought. So, of course, Christy, I'll give you the floor. What did you think about the zero quarter?
Honestly, I only heard Alcorn. It's not that A&T didn't play or anything. Maybe I was coming in late from running errands or whatever, but the only ones I heard in the zero quarter was Alcorn. And they sounded good to me. They sounded strong, but, that's what they, they're known for doing well in the stands, and they've been doing really good in the stands this year. And so, yeah, they didn't disappoint me.
I think all SWAC bands are really good in the stands, but that's just something I just...
No.
I didn't mean to say
Not
that. I didn't know I talked out loud. I'm sorry. That just came out.
Yes, see, okay.
My bad. That just... No, but what you said... I'm sorry. I just... Rashad, what did you think?
You ain't sorry.
No, it did slip. For real. I didn't mean... Yeah, Rashad, what you think, man?
So were we also going to be talking about the -1 quarter as well? Yes.
Right. That's fine. That's cool too.
I'm serious. I was looking at stuff and I saw that there were some things going on before the bands went inside. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I guess
to see that.
That was that drum videos that you guys were talking about, but before and after, I guess, the drum videos, the bands were playing, so we've got a -1 quarter on that, too, so I guess I'll hit that up after this. Good. So, zero quarter, yeah, pretty much what Christy said. And, yes, it was true that A&T was not playing for a long time. According to the Periscope videos that I was, watching, I think Alcorn played maybe 4... I think it was 5 songs before A&T responded. I don't know what A&T was doing. I don't know if they were tuning or warming up or what have you. But you really can't give the win to anybody but the band that's actually playing.
Right.
So I have to give them props for playing. I thought they sounded decent. The arrangements are pretty simple, but I thought they sounded pretty good. And they're pretty powerful. Heard from different sides of the field. It's interesting, though. I do want to point this out, though, how people have different takes on how a band is doing. Because I watched one Periscope video, and these guys were, they were much closer to Alcorn's band than A&T's, and I'm like, oh yeah, listen to that, oh yeah. But then there was another lady who I couldn't tell initially who was playing, but I believe that she was actually closer to to A&T's band. And it just seemed like, Alcorn just sounded monstrously loud from over there close to them or from way across the field. So it's like, okay, I can hear them, but it's not like they're just destroying the dome. So it's just interesting to hear different people's opinions on what's happening, real time based on where they're sitting.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. So I guess like you said, Rashad, you gave it to Alcorn just because they were playing more, essentially.
Yeah, basically. But I got that -1 quarter here as well here, and man, the whole Celebration Bowl, man, it was a great representation of everything that I love about show style band, in the fact that just any given time you could just have the bands playing. So they played before the game started. They played a halftime show. I'm sure they played all throughout the game whenever they could. They did a post-game show, and then they played even before the bands went into the stadium. Let me tell you.
Yeah, and I like that. I agree with you, Rashad.
It's beautiful,
I thought,
man.
just overall the event was a good representation for HBCU's period.
I mean, just to give you an example, I marched corps style in high school. We go to competitions, we play our stuff, and we put our horns up. I marched senior drum and bugle corps, and I remember going to competitions, and we would work really, really hard on our show, but after it was done, we put our horns up. That was it. We just put our horns up and hung out. So the atmosphere is so different with show-style bands. It's just that any time that somebody has an instrument out, we're ready to play. And if there's another band nearby, oh, yeah, it's on. It's great. But anyway, as far as the -1 quarter is concerned, so it started with A&T, and A&T was just playing just a couple of tunes back and forth. It wasn't really uniform. I don't know, exactly where the person was standing in relationship to the band, because the band looked a lot, real small. They looked like about 30 people. So I couldn't tell, where is this person standing? Because obviously A&T's band is about 130. But they look really good doing their little dances and things. We got to remember, though, that no matter how hyped you get, you still have to remember the musicality. You still got to play in balance and in tune with the person next to you. And that stuff really stands out when you're close to the band. When you're far away from the band, you don't notice it as much. But when you're close to the band, you're like, that doesn't sound that good. So that was kind of really showing off what was happening there. After that, though, we saw Cadence with A&T. Wow. Wow, those cats. Cold Steel is awesome, man. I like the things I saw with the snares. But the multi-toms are doing some great dynamics there. I mean, they weren't just playing one beat and it was the same volume. They were snuck in and did some dynamics in there. And those doggone tonal bass drums, I mean, and it was cool because it was they weren't featured. They just be doing stuff real soft behind the snare drums. And then the cymbals came out and did some things. God, these guys are tight, man. I got to give props to the old school Savannah State guy. I don't know who anybody else saw that, but one guy challenged A&T's whole cymbal section. He was old school, it said 1993 on the back of his jacket. Yeah, and even one of these guys.
93. That was a good year. Thank you.
Yeah, because apparently 93 is still going on. Everybody from 93 is still doing it. Because there's a organization of cymbal players. I've seen them at the Honda, and they show up and they stand outside before Honda starts, and they have their cymbals and they're just doing stuff. So clearly he's one of these guys, and he's pretty good, man. He was pretty tight, and I don't think really A&T's cymbal section had anything for him. Honestly, they tried to battle him one-on-one, and that just wasn't happening. So then they brought out the whole drum line. It's well, never mind. Props to him. Right. So then we saw Alcorn, and Alcorn, again, you got their chance to really see how powerful that they are. I think the camera person was right in front of the band, so you could see the whole band and really experience that whole sound. Still, the blend and balance type of problems, but what they're playing doesn't expose them as much. So it just sounds loud and strong. So I got to give them props for that. However, I will say I am so glad for all of you Alcorn guys. Be thankful that you guys did not lock up against Cold Steel. That would not have been pretty. It was not pretty at all. No. I mean, you saw the 4 snare drummers, like you said. I'm like, why is there only 4 snares and 2 multi-toms and a handful of the drum line versus the big band that Alcorn has. But the things that they were playing weren't really tough. I'm not a percussionist, but I'm pretty sure that given a day's practice, I could have played everything that they were playing. I'm really not trying to hate. I'm just being, this is a real observation. I do keep a pair of snare drumsticks in my car. I'm not good, but I can learn basic stuff. But it's the things they were playing, it's these things are not, they're not hard. And even the bass drums and tenor drums, it's yeah, it's okay if you don't use tonal bass drums and things and you're just playing loud. That's cool, but be together. So I'm very glad that battle did not happen. It would have not gone well.
Yeah, for Alcorn, even on the clip that I posted on my Facebook page, it shows A&T first, but in the very next, the little what you call those things, not play calls, but playlist or whatever it is, they play Alcorns in the next one. And like you said, Rashad, it's a handful, very small, but even their sticking, even their motions, they had a couple of Mark Jackson shimmies here and there. But that was it. I mean, it was like, I was like, wow, that's all that they're gonna do. So I was like, wow. And then at the end they were like T-O-P. Oh, I was like, man, y'all didn't have to say that part on the end. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Because y'all went second. Y'all should have went. Y'all could have done that if y'all went first. And
right.
Cold Steel went first, and then took more than 90 seconds. And then they had 10 seconds left, and they were doing that. I was like, man. So you right. That would have been a map. So we don't need the like a route like that on TV, because they don't even do that for football nowadays. When the game get out, they go to a more competitive game. We wouldn't want that. So that's good.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just saying.
You said this is cut the video and said, let's go to another game real quick here. This is America.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what would have happened. And then we would have been on the show mad.
Not me. Joe said
we would have been on
the
show mad because they cut an hour time. We been blaming you know who. We've been blaming him because Alcorn getting cut. You know what I'm saying? That's true. That's real. But that's what I thought.
And I'm with you, Joe, when you said that their sticking wasn't hitting them much, because that's kind of always been the thing. It's like, okay, if you don't really play a whole lot, then just do a lot of sticking, because people like that. Drum lines are very visual. I like it when bands do less sticking. I really don't like it when bands just stay there and play a lot of technical stuff and don't do any sticking, because none of us in the audience know that that's hard.
Know it. Right.
You know, so
and
do some sticking, but it's like they didn't even really do a lot of hard sticking.
That's the argument that Norfolk State would be like, we technical. Are y'all entertaining though? How about that?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. See? That's what I was saying.
I would say
yes.
I got to give them props. I do have to give them props. It was not pretty between Cold Steel and MDFS this year. It was not pretty. As good as Cold Steel is, I was like, Cold Steel is great this year. It was not pretty. Mm-mm.
Well, that's what's up, man. That's actually cool. So was that all from the -1 quarter?
Yeah, that's all I get for -1.
Okay. Well, the only thing I have for the 0, I don't give Alcorn a lot of props.
Just because you don't like them.
Yeah, well, just, I even save things. Like, for instance, in the first segment we talked about the halftime show, I saved the whole spiel about Alcorn just having no originality. Well, you know what? I forgot to say who I thought won the halftime show. We all said that we thought it was quick. I thought A&T won because of the difference, but, the lack of originality. That's just one thing that's going to plague Alcorn State. Until they start coming out with something, they just always going to be the Boom's little brother, man. I mean, that's just, little cousin, somebody, And it's just kind of how I felt, especially when they go into that ASU. That's the JSU. Y'all change the company squads on the left side. We all know what that is. You know what I'm saying? So please get some originality. That would be the bomb. But I do have to give them props for their stands. They definitely showed up in the stands. Everything wasn't as clean as it could be, but they showed up with the SWAC intensity, Christy, the SWAC. That intensity. So
you get on my nerves.
I'm just saying, I thought it was exciting because I was like, boy, they hitting hard. And A&T, they just maybe just not, they don't have that anger in the stands. But, how they came back, it was, lackluster, and then even in the first round, Alcorn came with the, just got paid because, that's like their favorite song this year. And A&T came back with, like, all that singing. Like, I was like, oh, A&T, come on, y'all. Like, come on. And then I think in, like, the next round, Alcorn just came back with more anger. And somebody was screaming, you know what I'm saying? They just up there. And I felt like when Alcorn played neck, they had their little neck battle, and A&T woke up then. Like, A&T got up for that. They got up for the neck battle, and it was like the little jazzy flavor. Like, Alcorn was, and then, that's how A&T was sounding. I was like, oh, look at A&T.
Oh, okay, so you saying A&T was scatting?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I was saying it was jazzy. They had more of a
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, the little da-da-da, like a little, you pop your finger a little bit when they were playing that.
Yeah, I'm Callaway version of it.
Like, it was, but I'm not saying it was bad. It was different. Like it was SWAC MEAC. You know, it was a different flavor. You know what I'm saying, Christy? You know, but it's
you know what?
thing.
I'm about to hang up on this call because y'all getting on my last nerves. I'm gonna tell y'all that.
No, seriously, it was good. Like I liked it. That's what I'm saying. It was different though. Like they had, you know, it was, you know.
I know shade when I hear it. I know shade, but it's okay though.
I promise you, no shade. Like Alcorn, it's like a brick. You know, it's kind of like when Southern shows up, they just come with a brick. But like, you know, Jack State's a little bit more precise with stuff. They just had a little bit more flavor, and the tuba line was a little bit more intricate too with the neck. But my point was bringing up was that A&T woke up at that point. That was what I'm saying in that battle. What would you say, Rashad?
What you got to understand is what's happening here is there's just a little bit of self-hate going on, just a little bit. And this is something that all A&T people have had to deal with for many, many years, and that's the fact that A&T traditionally has been that band in the MEAC that just comes with that violence and that anger. Like, that's them. Like, even when I'm watching the Periscope video and I'm listening to these guys talk, and I'm like, oh, the MEAC is soft and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, man, that's A&T. Like, A&T ain't soft like that, man. Just wait. And I'm waiting. But now A&T sounds great. Their sound is incredible. They're playing all these intricate things. But the trade-off of that is they don't really have that anger like they used to have. You know, so it's kind of difficult to hear that. You know, when you hear, oh, Alcorn's doing this and A&T it's kind of meacking it up over there. It's hard for A&T people to hear that, you know.
Well, I you know what? I totally agree with you, Rashad. Because, you know, I came from my band director at A&T was Dr. Hodge. He was aggressive, and you know, I came from that aggressive band. Oh, you would know about that, wouldn't you, Rashad? Anyway.
Oh yeah, Doc aggressive.
Yeah.
I got stories I can tell about that personally.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, and I like an aggressive band. I think that's what that's one of the things that makes show-style bands, you know, what makes them different, and one of the things I like the best about them.
What you understand, Joe, is that A&T blew on a person one time, okay?
Oh, yeah.
This is how aggressive. They surrounded one person, and blew on him.
Wow.
I got video evidence in my house. Yeah, it was the drum major from Central. I'm not going to call out no names, Javante, but he was the drum major from Central, and he came to, like, our band camp to, like, watch us practice. And somebody, you know, one of his frats found out that he was there, whatever, and so, you know, he I guess he tried to grip him up or something, and his boy, his frat brother from A&T grabbed him, and the band surrounded him and cranked on him. Wow. Yes, that's the era I'm from.
Right.
Yes.
So it's very hard for them to hear that Alcorn was more aggressive than A&T.
Yeah, that does hurt. That does touch a nerve.
Well, thank you, Rashad.
Shout out to Javante, though. Where's the little clap thing? Shout out to Javante, though. He took it well. Do the clap thing, Joe.
There you go.
Shout out to him.
Well, I'm glad that you broke it down for me. You painted the picture.
Oh, and let me tell you what was funny about that, though. Let me tell you what was funny is that, like, you know, only one person got it on tape or whatever. And we used to play that at band tape parties. You were there, Rashad. You were there.
No, I never saw it. I never saw it at a party, but I did see it on tape. I have seen it.
Okay. Oh, I love my band. I tell you.
Well, hey, I'm glad you you painted the picture for me, Rashad, because you know it's just what I saw. You know what I'm saying? Like swag band, all of us angry all the time. That's just I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the humidity. Y'all on the coast, y'all got the breeze. but everybody mad in the SWAC. So when I saw it,
them ain't mad.
No, they mad. No, they mad. Brother Wright, they mad. They just real clean about they madness. They gonna be mad. They gonna watch. They gonna have that anger next year. It's gonna be all out.
They're like
now they know they angry. Like the Warriors.
They're like Mr. Fring from Breaking Bad. That type of anger. Yeah, he's just cool and in charge, but he's angry though.
I need this. Y'all are so ahead of me. I ain't seen that either. Is that to do with?
I just got into Breaking Bad, man. I just sat there and watched the whole season about a couple of weeks ago. Breaking Bad is pretty good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Breaking Bad is actually the Guinness Book of Records #1 show in the world of all time.
Past the Wire?
The highest ratings of all time. Yep.
I'm gonna have to check it out. Is it better than The Wire though?
Oh, it's just different. It's different.
It's just different.
Both are good. It's like apples and oranges, really.
Okay, I feel that.
But but they're still good fruit.
Yeah, I might need to check it out. I kind of slept on it, but yeah, we are well-rounded show, everybody. We are well-rounded show. Yeah, come on, Christy, man. No, man, straight up though, y'all. So straight up, so I guess in the zero, I guess we all agree with that one, but it was again really, really cool to see. But then the last part that I was gonna say. But it wasn't shade. It was like jazzy. It was the only part that I didn't like about what A&T did in that was they highlighted the upper brass. For some reason, they had like the trumpets and horns single out by themselves. And
it's about time to some upper brass. Nobody has had good upper brass this year. You know what I'm saying? It's about time they showcase some upper brass.
But
what have we been talking about all season? How so-and-so's trumpets, namely Jackson State, how so-and-so's trumpets, ain't up to par. And
so
now
this is what happens when you give us a week off.
No, man,
exactly.
But what I was saying like it was a play calling, coaching decision. Not that they weren't tight. But I didn't like the fact that he chose them to focus because Alcorn's upper brass was like humongously like ferocious, and then he put them on an island, and of course they wasn't nowhere near as loud, so it just didn't work. I was like, oh man, you shouldn't have put him out there like that. And then of course like we didn't hear A&T play anymore after that. On the video, it's just how the video looked. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was like a coaching. They shouldn't have had that. They shouldn't have had the upper brass featured at that part. But I wasn't saying like, oh, no, you know what I'm saying, they shouldn't have been featured, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they sound good, but, they shouldn't have been featured against Alcorn like that. It just kind of put them on the island. That's just what I thought. So that was the zero quarter. We got some time. I'm going to say because... yeah, we got this. We'll go ahead and fit this in before we go to the last segment. I'll just say what I thought about the post game. We'll go to break, and then I'll let you guys talk about the post game. And then I have a couple of questions to ask you in the last segment about what you guys expect at the Honda, and also since the Celebration Bowl, I guess we can count it as a success. Wouldn't it be cool to add the SIAC and the CIAA somehow? So I wanted to brainstorm with you guys about adding those two extra conferences and what's the best way to do that to get them some shine as well. So the post game, again, I just saw a good A&T performance, and I saw, of course, they marched 90s 1 minute, then they drum and bugle corps 1 minute. Saw the little high school band uniforms, how the high school kids got to see them for their recruitment trip. But I thought that it was really cool that they got to play and do their thing. And then they even patterned the show. Like you said, they knew the show already, but that show really was for the fans, doing the A&T symbol and some of the other things that they did. So I can always say another good performance from A&T, but I couldn't find the Alcorn performance. So I'm definitely interested in what you guys thought. I'm definitely interested.
I haven't seen it either.
Rashad, did you get a chance?
It was right there. It was right there next to it. That was right. It was as soon as I pulled up.
Oh, you know what? They went on first. Alcorn did the post game first. I do remember that, and they sounded good. I mean, It was nothing to write home about, but they sounded decent.
Okay, well, let's go ahead. I'm gonna let you guys talk about that here at the second break. And the last break, we'll wrap up the show. Again, you're in the chat room. I'm gonna let you guys know what Janelle said in the chat room when we come back from the break. I don't wanna spoil it now, but it's kind of funny. So I'll say that, but you guys and everyone is welcome to call in 718-664-6025. I'm gonna mute your microphones. We'll do the last commercial break, find out about the last part of the Celebration Bowl, and then ponder some brainstorming ideas with you guys, and find out about what you think about what happened in the Honda before we close it out for the night. Merry Christmas, our little holiday break, before we'll be back on the 90 Degree Show at the end of January, and I'm going to work out something. I already bought my little ticket to the suite. Got to get a plane ticket, some other stuff going on, but we're going to work out something. Christy on me, man, so like I can't like funk out. I'll be scared. So y'all help me out. Give me some ideas. We'll be back.
Hello, this is Dr. Joel Beard, Jackson State alumnus, 1966. I marched in the Jackson State Marching Band, which was then called the best band in the land. And you are now listening to the 90 Degree Show here on the Marching Podcast Network.
Need to write music and drill? Get it on the field. Outfit your band. Keep your administrator happy and still have a life. Encountering drama in the process, ain't nobody got time for that. Let block band music assist you with musical arrangements and drills to fit your band, and also the equipment, gear, and accessories to keep the visuals, music, and marching on point. Contact blockbandmusic@gmail.com and see how this worldwide minority-owned business can uplift your band.
What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to bandhead.org. Bandhead.org, a social network for bands.
From photo shoots to graduation pictures, from probates to band footage, from pageants to yard shows, there's only one team you can count on, the Edge One Productions. Visit theedge1.com and trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Double Time Entertainment. Our passion is music and promoting HBCU marching bands as well as high school marching bands through high-quality movie videos and photos. We have worked with BET, Yamaha, Ludwig, Honda Motor Company, and been featured on CNN and Lifetime Network's series Bama State Style. We also help and orchestrate Battle of the Bands with marketing and promotions, and also became the official media team for the Queen City Battle of the Bands in Charlotte, North Carolina. Join Double Time Entertainment on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and now new on Periscope. Music lovers are noteworthy.
This is Curtis from 80minutesofregulation.com. From referees whistle to drum majors whistle and back, your source for sports and marching and athletic music. You're listening to the 90 Degree Show on the Marching Podcast Network.
We're back for the last segment, 718-664-6025. Listen to the 90 Degree Show. I've got unmute the microphones. The Celebration Bowl, bringing us back again is North Carolina A&T, and because they won. Shout out to all the folks that were a part of the event. Again, we can't stress enough how pleased we were, and I think that we all want to give kudos to all involved, and we definitely have more to build upon, which brought up, before we get into that last thing, I want to hear from Rashad what he saw from the post-game analysis, the post-game poo-analysis, if you will. From Alcorn and from A&T as well. What did you think, man?
All right. So I guess I'll go with Alcorn first since they went first. No, I'm gonna go to A&T first. That's the order that I watched it in. I'll just start right off the top. I am really tired of the Battle of the Sexes show. Really tired of it. But I mean, I love the show when they first did it back in September. But and I get the idea of having a road show and having one show and continue to do it over and over again. But it's just really kind of, that whole thing is kind of lackluster as compared to 2014, where we really saw A&T really at some of their best and different shows. And I really would have wanted to see something different. Honestly, it would have been possibly good to see the Black History show or the Civil Rights show, I guess. That would have been great because, how do you beat that? It's like if Alcorn are going first and they did their, hey, we're dancing and we're being a show-style band, and then A&T comes out and does, band, we love Martin Luther King. We're like, oh, okay. I mean, so you would probably say that was unfair. They made me cry up in this piece. But, I mean, to me, it was, if you're going to pull out all the stops in order to really, in order to be showcased at the, in a large event like that, like this very first Black College Championship game, that's what you do. So I would have thought maybe that would have worked out better. But I will give them props. The A&T really played. A lot of their stuff in their show is very difficult, particularly in the low brass section. The trumpets have some really tough runs in there. So I have to give them props for just the level of difficulty of their show. I was not really feeling the womanizer. The intonation with the mellophones and baritones was really going off there in that. But overall, I thought the show was a good show. I really couldn't get into it. I didn't see the dance team, by the way. I really couldn't, the final dancer team, I guess. I really couldn't get into it because I had seen it so many times, but I thought they did a good job performing it. Alcorn's show, let's see here. So let's start right from the drum majors. I really didn't like how the drum majors walked out and they called the band to attention, and then they did their thing. It's like, to me, I've always seen once the drum majors get the green light, you go. You don't stop, and then start again. Just go do what you're going to do and get the band playing. I really didn't think they were all that tight. When you compare them to, let's say, Bethune-Cookman or some other bands that are really, really tight in everything that they do, Bethune really takes the bar to another level there, and some other bands as well. And so Alcorn was good, but they're not tight like they are, so you should really tighten up on that some more. I didn't really like the announcing that much. With A&T's show, you notice that the announcer fills in the gaps, which is what the announcer should do. Anytime there's dead time, there should be somebody talking. and Alcorn, the announcer, allowed there to be a lot of dead time. And so that really took away from their show. Like he might say things for 1 second, or maybe like when the band is doing a downfield. That's a great time to say something because half of the sound of the band is gone. So it's kind of good to say something in order to keep that energy going. Again, Alcorn shows are really set up to feature their weaknesses or to not play for their strengths in this situation. In this situation, I thought their step twos are pretty good. So props to them for that. I don't know what happened in the halftime show. Step twos are pretty good here. But the problem is the number one advantage that Alcorn has over A&T is the power. Alcorn have a lot more power than A&T does. But you completely negate that if you spend your whole show, your whole drill facing the end zones. You know, so A&T was really able to seem like they were much more powerful than Alcorn was for a good portion of the show because A&T spent the majority of their show facing straight ahead. So I think that there should one thing I learned, because, you know, we all come from that tradition of facing the end zones and stuff a lot. One thing I actually saw A&T do a lot back, you know, when Christy was marching and things, is I used to always see A&T, even though they would face the end zones, they would stop and park and blow for at least a couple of counts and then go to the next thing. And that makes a difference. So if you're going to do step twos, at least stop every now and then and face the front and let people hear you for a second. Okay? Let's see here. The drill was kind of short. The dance girl song, though, I thought sounded better than A&T's dance girl song. I have to give them props for that. It's a good work there. At Your Best, the slow song, there were problems at the beginning there. And really from a musical standpoint, I really wasn't feeling the dynamics. Like there was no transition between the softer sections and the louder sections. It's kind of like this. It's like, at your best, you are love. You're positive, motivating force, the feeling of love. We're never near the norm, like all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it turned into the Incredible Hulk. Yeah.
That was
that middle section. But that's what it sounded like. Instead of, okay, so the trombone got it right here, and we're starting soft, and now we're building, and we're building, and we're building, and now the trumpets come in, and it's strong, and that climax is in the music. It's written in the music and how she sings it. But you can't just, okay, we're soft, and now we're loud, and we're soft, and now we're loud. The song doesn't go anywhere there. I really had an issue with that. I really liked the male dancers that came out. They were cool. Their formation was all center for some reason at the end, but I thought that what they did was really cool, and it may have been something good to do during the halftime show. I know they didn't have that much time for the halftime show, but I thought that that performance was pretty good and entertaining. The dancers, so basically Alcorn's show started at a low point for me and constantly got better and better and better. Because even though I wasn't really feeling overall the musicality of the At Your Best, it still was a part of the show kind of getting better over time. But when it got to the dancer team, it just fell off again. The dancer team was not energized. People were not doing the same things. It just, they just didn't hit that climax. So in comparing the two shows, once again, I would have to say that A&T took the win. I think they did a more difficult show, particularly in the music. But it wasn't I think the two shows were closer during the post game than they were during the halftime. Again, credit to Alcorn doing a much better job with their step twos and doing a pretty good job on the sound of their dance girl song.
That's pretty good, Rashad. Did you want to add anything on to that, Christy, for what you saw post game?
I mean, I pretty much agree, and I hate to be like piggybacking off of what Rashad said, but I mean, I do agree with what he's saying, and I understand why he did that. I mean, so that's all I have to add.
Well, that's cool. I think that we all, and I didn't ask you, I forgot to ask because we got into the other conversation about week 12 2 weeks ago, but I was figuring, I think we were all, I guess the band head would say that A&T was probably going to win on the field, and more than likely Alcorn will probably, win in the stands. It's kind of,
that's
it kind
what
of seems
people
like
are saying.
It seems like it kind of went that way for the most part. I did see there was a poll, or those good old polls, that asked who won on SportsCenter, and they tweeted out the actual results of the poll, and I think it was 70-some% giving the edge to North Carolina A&T.
That would be 75%. That would be a 75%.
Yes, 75%. So won that. Well, it's a trip thing, and I don't want to go too much into it. Is that, you know, it's like when you want to go back to like 1960s, just scroll down to the bottom of the comments of any article that's posted.
Oh, gosh, yes.
And so, yeah, I scrolled down to look at the different comments, and it was a trip how a lot of people are just like conditioned for hate. Like these people had no idea where these schools are, where they from, who went to them, but like just like the things that people were saying on them was a trip, and not knowing anything about the school. But that is what it is. But just shout out to you when you comment on something you don't know about. There's an I word, and it's just written in the dictionary. But yeah, but yeah, just shout out to you. But I want to then go on into the step how we then build upon this, because I thought it was a really, really good outing, really, really good show. But I immediately thought about the SIAC and the CIAA, our Division II brothers and sisters. Janelle Bree, shout out to you. She said something funny. She was like, SIAC and CIAA, nah. And I laughed at that because I thought that was funny. But I know the CIAA is famous for their basketball tournament, but it would be interesting, and I wanted to bounce that off you. I asked you, Christy, first. Would you like to see the CIAA and the SIAC in a tournament like this, or what would you think would be good, I guess, to give those conferences the exposure?
Well, they used to have something like that. I think that was the Pioneer Bowl, I think it was called? I'm sorry?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, the Pioneer Bowl. And so, I mean, I think that would be fine as well. I mean, it's just like if you compare the BCS championship to or even the FCS championship to Division I, like HBCUs. I mean, I feel like, you know, they have a Division II and a Division III, Division II really,
right.
football championship. So, I mean, why not have it with the SIAC and the SIAC? I mean, the SIAC and the CIAA. Why not have that? Now, will I go to it? I don't know so much, but, you know, I think it's needed.
I would like to see it, but then, you know, I guess the whole, would it be like, you know, Black College National Champion? Would it be the small school division? Would it be the D2 National Championship? Or would the schools play each other? But then I thought about, like, you know, Jackson State has a high enrollment versus, you know, like a Smith or like a Shaw. So I wouldn't necessarily see, though, I guess those two schools, I don't know as far as competition or competitiveness, if they would be in the same class. Rashad, what do you think, man? Would you create another bowl, or like would you like to see the two other conferences on this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's now my time to co-sign on Christy, since she's been co-signing with me, you know, all night. So prospect, I'll throw it back at her. There used to be exactly that. You know, the Pioneer Bowl and the Heritage Bowl happened at the same day. You know, you could go to the the Pioneer Bowl first, and then go see the Heritage Bowl right after that. And I think that's a great idea. You know, I really don't know why they stopped doing it in the first place, other than maybe
because nobody was coming to it, probably.
Right. So I hope that this event and the future SIAC, CIAA event would not go that same way. But yeah, why not do them both on the same day, and that way you could draw even more people. I think it's a win-win.
You know what? I remember looking at videos of the All CIAA band. Do you remember that, Rashad?
Yes.
I remember. Have you seen that before? And what would be so interesting to me, so they would do, for people who don't know, they used to have an All CIAA band where one of the CIAA directors will be a guest director for that time, and I think it was during like the CIAA championship game or whatever, and they had it would be so interesting to see all those different horn swings and marching styles, and they would get together kind of like for a mass band performance. I just think that would be interesting. It was funny to me because it just looks so weird with all those different horn slings and different,
So you want them to come together
styles.
So you can laugh at them.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that
no,
old school
like
A-team mentality you were just talking about earlier.
What'd you say?
I mean, that old school A&T mentality we were just talking about earlier.
Well, hey, I'm a hard girl. I'm gonna tell you that. Anybody ask me, I marched under Dr. Johnny Baxter Hodge Jr. So hey, that's me.
We got a call from the 410 area code. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from tonight?
Hey, this is Bridget. How you guys doing?
Hey, what's going on, Bridget? What's going on?
I
welcome
wasn't
to the
call
forum.
in.
Yeah,
I
sure.
wasn't going to call in, but Christy done said something that made me call in. Y'all ready? Okay, let's talk about this CIAA and SIAC. Yeah, if you want to kill the Celebration Bowl, go ahead and add them to it. I'm just going to be honest. And let me tell you, let me tell you why I'm saying that. You validated my point, Chrissy, because you was like, I don't know if I would go. Stop right there. That's what everybody's gonna be thinking. Like, nah. I mean, think about the schools that are there. Okay, so they'll have let's say it end up being whoever, Johnson C. Smith and somebody. Who's really gonna be? Where's your viability? Where's your viability? Yeah. Where's your viability? Who's really gonna go? Maybe a handful of their alumni, but in order to keep the bowls going, there has to be some type of, you have to think about all these bowls and continuing, it has to be about financial gain. D2 schools are D2 schools because financially, that's where they are. It's a big financial part. That's why so many people try to come to the MEAC and they end up going back because financially they struggle. They can't handle it. So,
Winston-Salem State.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Christy?
I said Winston-Salem State.
Ooh,
okay, go ahead.
Shade.
Did they try to go to MEAC? Did they try to go to MEAC for real?
Several times.
But am I lying though?
Yeah, no,
I didn't know that.
I think
That's
Savannah
a trip.
State too. I still don't know if Savannah State is in or not. I don't know what they're doing.
Oh,
I think Savannah's one of the other ones.
They're in the MEAC. Yeah, they in the MEAC.
Yeah, it's all about the money thing. You try to go and you can't financially handle the D1 level of commitment, then whatever. But I think the Celebration Bowl is a good thing, but they have to figure out how to build upon it so it doesn't die off. No matter what team comes, they have to figure out how to make it a grand weekend, a Honda-ish kind of weekend. Like, okay, this is MEAC SWAC Championship, but maybe we're going to do a MEAC SWAC Battle of the Bands. We're going to have some other things. They're going to have to really figure out how to make this a little more viable so that it doesn't die off.
Okay, so let's talk about if we had a Delaware State versus Mississippi Valley State at the championship. What'd you say?
I mean, honestly, nobody's gonna come. Nobody's gonna come. That's why I said there has to be some more viability. Okay, you're gonna get a little handful of the Delaware State alumni and a couple folks from Mississippi, but everybody else is gonna be like, okay, what's the point of coming? Let's be honest. Black college football is about the bands. People want to see some good bands. They want some good entertainment. If they don't think it's going to happen, they're not coming. So there has to be. They're going to have to sit down when the HBCU sports directors and athletic directors get together. They got to figure out how to make this a larger scale weekend, better than just one game is great. Thing probably need to start on Friday. Look at college fairs and battle the bands and some other events.
I hate that it's so close to Christmas. I hate that it's so close to Christmas.
And graduation. This was a graduation weekend, I know, for Morgan and some other folks,
Right.
It fell on a really bad weekend, too. They have to figure out how to, I think it's a great idea. I love the idea of the Celebration Bowl. I think they're in a good location. They just got to figure out how to market it, make it a little more marketable so that, black folks want to come. Let's be honest. You want them to come out. What's gonna get them there? What's gonna make folks want to come?
I also like the fact that they're trying to market it as this is the start of the bowl season. This is the start of the heavy bowl season. So I don't know. I guess I just have mixed feelings on it. But yeah, Bridget, I couldn't imagine a Delaware State versus Mississippi Valley State.
I'm telling you, nobody be there. Don't be empty.
Yeah, I guess. I just know, I guess, I was just thinking about, I guess, the other conferences. The CIAA does their basketball tournament really well. So, we was thinking, and maybe that's another thing, too. Maybe that's just more of a basketball area, more of a basketball conference. So for football, they're not going to generate, like Bridget said, generate that type of money to support. And it's other schools, too, major schools that are like independent for football, and then, they do something else for basketball. I was just trying to see, as far as, again, that exposure, what would they do? But as far as bands go, definitely maybe there should be like I guess we have the Honda, but maybe there should be more of a SWAC championship or maybe a conference type of championship at those games. Or maybe like Bridget said, maybe some type of battle of the bands at the championship weekend of that conference or something.
There was a battle of bands at the Celebration Bowl. It wasn't a college battle of bands.
Right,
it was a high school battle of bands there. Mm-hmm.
So I think that was good, and it was all the Atlanta schools or whatever. Did
anybody
Atlanta's
a haven for high school bands. That'll get a lot of house.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
You mentioned the CIAA in basketball. They have been so successful, too, because of just the historical significance. I think that makes a big difference. That CIAA tournament, first of all, is location. All the schools are located right there. We're in that same, for the most part, CIAA schools are right there. It's only a few that's outside of the North Carolina area. So, hey, but historically,
and it's the oldest conference.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the oldest conference. We all kind of came out of CIAA, and that's what, when you go to it, there are young people there, but I'm always amazed at the number of, our parents' kind of age group who there. That's their weekend to hang out and do it because that brings back their college years. So it's that historical thing is what keeps, I think, that really kind of going. And then they market it well. They do market it well. They have a lot of entertainment and all kind of things going on, and that's what the Celebration Bowl, this is the first year for it, but that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to market it very well to make people be like, oh, such and such is going to be there, or they having this year, I'm going to go. But I was really excited to see, things about it on Sports Center and whatever. That's a huge deal. That really is a huge deal. So hopefully it'll, as long as they have good teams going, too, depending on who's there, that's going to make a big difference, too.
Right.
Because you mess around and get a school like a FAMU and a Southern in there, that thing is going to sell out. That's just the nature of the beast because of who the schools are.
That would be nice. That would be good.
Yeah. So, but you can't guarantee it because it depends on who wins their conference, and we don't know from year to year who that's going to be. But it'll be interesting to see.
Oh, I sure appreciate it. I want to ask you guys a little bit before we have our parting shots here. We have the Honda coming up. Shout out to you. Merry Christmas to all. And thanks again for being on the show and helping out with everything going on this year. So we'll have the Honda show, and then we'll have an award show to say like who we thought, was, this or that this year. And
I got a lot to say on that.
Yeah, so we'll be back for the Honda that end of that January weekend, and then of course I'll see if I'm still out in Atlanta. Hey, if I, how it goes, we'll work out the logistics of all of that. So I want to ask you, who are you looking forward? I'll ask Christy, you first. Is there any band specifically you're looking forward to in the Honda, and who do you think is going to win the Honda?
Oh Lord, I need to remember what the lineup is. So let's see. Well, Alcorn was one of them. Tennessee State, Jackson, those are the ones I'm looking forward to seeing. I've never seen Lincoln in Pennsylvania before. I've never seen them live, so I'm just curious to see what they're going to bring. So yeah, those are the ones I'd be interested in. But Rashad knows the deal because he's in the suite with us. Like, I'm not really watching the Honda. I'm kind of like playing hostess. So I'll probably be catching it on YouTube or whatever. So. Yeah, but I'm looking forward, as always, fellowshipping with the people that I only get to see a few times a year, if any. So yeah, that's how I do.
Correction. Christy is not watching the Honda with A&T is not there.
No,
you better believe that if A&T is there, she's sitting on that front row.
No, that's
you
not
sitting
true.
up there right next to your folks.
No, that's not true. That is so. You see, you're trifling. Whatever.
That's okay, Christy. I feel you. I totally understand. You're doing the hosting duties, but I'm just to kind of piggyback on what you said. Lincoln was my choice too. I'll just throw that out there while we have it. Lincoln is who I want to see. I don't remember seeing them, or I think like. The first year I think Rashad was on the show, Lincoln school their school came up in the news about something, and I think I Googled them and they had one show that was on YouTube, and it's out there. So I'm kind of interested to see what they're about and how they do with, on the stage, if you will. Kind of like last year, I was interested to see what Talladega was going to do. Now I'm interested to see what Lincoln is going to do. Bridget,
they underwhelmed me.
Yeah. Bridget, do you have anyone that you're looking forward to, and who do you think will win?
Winners, I don't know. I think Tennessee State is going to show up very nicely this year. Just from the year that they've had, I think they're going to make a good show. It's kind of cool. Last week I spent time at the Midwest Band and Orchestra Clinic, and most of the HBCU directors are there. I spent time talking to. That was my first time actually talking with Lincoln's director. So I am interested. I've seen them before. I don't really remember what they did, so it'll be great to kind of see them again. But it was really nice kind of talking. He's a member of Kappa Kappa Psi. He's from South Carolina State originally. Is where he went to undergrad. So it was really nice gentleman. It was really nice talking to him. So it'll be nice to see him. Peer review, spent some time talking to their director. It'll be nice to see them and Jackson State, of course. So I think it'll be a nice show. I can't really say that anybody's going to be a standout group, honestly. I don't, from the lineup, I don't see anybody just kind of like, that standout group. It could be, there may be a surprise group that way, but I think it's just going to be overall, just a okay band show. Am I going? The jury is still out on that too.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to make my appearance this year. I'm not sure yet, but I've always been a sleeper on Tennessee State, but this year they have really opened my eyes. I'm like, oh, okay. So
you I'm actually Tennessee State?
I've always slept on Tennessee State. Sad to say, Christy, I have. They've never really.
I've always been a fan.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe because that was one of the programs I didn't know a lot of people in, so I didn't follow them closely. And here's my little piece of shade. Bands that don't have Tau Beta Sigma and Kappa Kappa Psi, sometimes I kind of put them to the side. I hate to say that. That's horrible to say. But really,
that is horrible to say.
Because I didn't know anybody there, so I had no reason to kind of look and watch them. But this year, I saw them on several occasions, and they really kind of made me go, oh, okay, Tennessee State, I see you. But so it'll be interesting to see what's out there. I think Alabama A&M is the band not to sleep on. I think they're going to make a. Yeah, I think they're because I don't know where there was like a battle of the bands maybe I watched it on Periscope, and I think it was it Tennessee State and Alabama A&M? Was it them?
Yeah, I think that was a good battle.
Oh, absolutely. And Alabama A&M showed up, and I was like, whoa, okay. So I think they're also
really
going to be the
musical.
lookout band.
I like what their newish director is doing musically with them. I think he's doing a good job.
You talking about Alabama A&M?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's Carter Wright, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, he's a brush. Rashad, same question. Rashad, what do you think? Who you think is going to win, or who you most want to see, and who you think is going to win?
Well, it's interesting that I'm glad I didn't go first, because as you guys are talking, it's reminding me of everybody that's there. Like, oh, I forgot Tennessee State was there. Oh, I forgot Alabama was there. So Prairie View would have been my first choice of the band that I want to see. Because, again, Joe, you and I remember, way back in the day when Prairie View just came in as a sleeper and just took everybody out. And, Prairie View's sounding great right now. And, of course, they're going to bring the box and they're going to do their thing. So, I hope that the Prairie View can really, really put their name back on the map again as far as upper echelon band. So this will be their opportunity to do that. Like Chris, I've always been a fan of Tennessee State, and I've seen them do some really fantastic things at Honda and kind of be slept on a little bit. And I think it's sometimes that everything doesn't come together for them necessarily, as far as like the announcing versus the drill versus everything. But I think if they can just put everything together, I think that they can be that band that just really just blows everybody's mind. And I had forgotten about Alabama A&M, another great sounding band. However, my concern this year would be, I just want people to understand that they are at the Honda. I want people to understand, listen, don't just do the same show you've been doing all year long. We don't want to see that. Alabama A&M has a great sounding band, but my concern is they're going to do the same thing they've been doing all year. No, this is the Honda. Tennessee State normally does a pretty good job of doing some interesting things, but some other band programs, like Alcorn, I'm concerned, like, oh, yeah, we're excited about seeing Alcorn, but we just saw we might have seen Alcorn State's Honda show, last weekend. Yesterday. They did 2 shows. I'm very concerned that they're going to go out there and just do a regular show. And I just don't want bands to do regular shows. The first band can do a regular show. That's fine. But by the time you've seen 3 of them, you don't want to see a regular show. You want to see something that's energetic and entertaining and change it up. So that's what I want to see.
All right, that's what's up. Parting shots. Christy, anything you want to say? Anything you got coming up before over the holiday weekend before we'll be back on January 2016?
Well, I think this has just been a really good year for bands. It hasn't been the same old, regardless of what band is your favorite. It definitely has been different. It hasn't been like, any of the other years of recent. A lot of bands are stepping it up, and a lot of bands are underwhelming. So it'll be interesting to see the folks who perform at the Honda, and then to talk about that last show where we're going over the season in review to see how everything turns up. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this season. There was a period of time where I just was kind of bored with bands, to be honest with you. I was just kind of like going through the motions. Yeah, we know what you're going to do in this halftime. It's just been so predictable. But I don't think I don't think this year was one of those years. So.
Well, that's good. Bridget, any parting shots? Anything else before we get on air?
I just want to give a big shout out to all the HBCU band directors who showed up for the Midwest Band and Orchestra Clinic. What an outstanding show of band directors, musicianship. We had Dr. Chipman from FAMU presented a wonderful session. One of the Taube Sigma Soros from FAMU presented a clarinet session, which is on a national stage, which was absolutely outstanding. So I just want to give a big shout out. The HBCU Band Director Consortium always meet during that time too. So it was just great to see so many people of color involved in music, attending that conference again. So that's my party shout out. What a wonderful show of HBCU presence at that conference this year.
That's outstanding, and shout out to Brother Shaw. I definitely want to bring that conference to L.A. I want to bring the HBCU Videographers Conference to L.A., and I want to bring that to L.A. So we try to get some things in the works and making those connections. Shout out to Lolita Carter out here on the West Coast representing Birmingham way back in the day. But we definitely, and shout out to Brother Tarver and Brother Hutchison. I can't remember all the directors out here in L.A., but it's a small knit group, and I definitely want to bring all of the resources that we have back east out here. Rashad, go ahead, man. Any parting shots?
Yeah, so of course, Block Band continues to be band director for us and pretty much everything they need. As bands transition into concert band, we've got a lot of arranged concert band music. We also even have the traditional things like your Swearinger pieces, your Gustav Holst pieces, whatever it is that you want to play. We've got that as well. Of course, your reeds and your mouthpieces and things. For bands who have a Martin Luther King Day parade coming up, we've got an arrangement of Lift Every Voice and Sing that we did for, that's perfect for actually parade band. But also Happy Birthday as arranged by Stevie Wonder. And one of the things that we're getting into now is that you can't just listen to a video like a finale file of an arrangement and really know what your band is going to sound like. So you guys have probably watched the video. I actually took the time to record all the brass parts on the trombone and play it using a cappella. You know, so that way band directors can have a little bit better idea of what this is going to sound like. So I'm going to, go through our catalog and find a couple other songs like that so we can send out to bands. Because some of the music that we play is challenging, but I think that if they hear it, they'll say, oh, that's challenging, but that sounds great. I can't wait for my kids to play it. So we try to do everything
I saw
to
you on
band.
that. I was like, Rashad maybe still got it just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, well, man, I gotta check it out.
You said you're a Hodge girl. I'm a smart man. He chastised some trombone players. Yes, he did.
Much respect to Mr. Smart. I have nothing but love for him. Rest in peace. But yeah, I had to give you a hard time.
Yeah, he chastised those trombone players on a regular basis, so we had to get good. So, but that's it. Happy Merry Christmas to everybody. We won't talk again
Merry Christmas,
until after it's over. So
Merry Christmas, everybody.
And Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas and Happy Kwanzaa. That guy.
Yes.
You guys remember the Fresh Prince when they were on the little ski resort? And the white guy was up in there. He's like, Merry Christmas. He's saying, I was like, Happy Kwanzaa on the way out. That's like the funniest thing in the world. So I always like to throw that out there at the end when I always hear Merry Christmas. But definitely Merry Christmas to all of you and Happy New Year. Appreciate you all being on the show and helping out. We definitely are going to save our schools. And shout out to all the people we've got feedback from this year. The show is doing well. And, again, we're putting money in students' pockets to attend our schools into March. So we start, but we'll definitely be moving forward each and every year moving forward. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or a patron to the Marching Podcast, please contact the show, and we'll give you the criteria so we can start to pub your business using our platform. We'll play your commercial, show your icon during the broadcast, and we'll post your website on our blog, and we'll help send out your information through social media. So contact us so we can help build your business. That's all the time we have for the show tonight. Thanks to everyone that called in and on the panel. Check out our website and donate what's in your heart to themarchingpodcast.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Thanks to you for listening. And remember, the lectures you deliver may be very fine and true, but I'd rather get my lesson by observing what you do. See you next year.
If your engine was breaking down, would you take it to a mechanic 15 years later? So if your knee is hurting, why wait years to fix it? Because the earlier you seek out help, the more options you have. At the Cedars-Sinai Orthopedic Center, our minimally invasive techniques allow many of our patients to be back up on their feet and go home within 24 hours. So trust the #1 hospital in LA for joint replacements. Call 1-800-CEDARS-1 or visit our website.